Want to train to be more explosive in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Watch this.
Our next caller is Rob from Canada.
Rob, what's happening? How can we help you?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
You got it.
All right.
So I'm 36. I've been just started doing jiu-jitsu a couple of years ago, and I have my first competition coming up. 242 pounds, about 18% body fat. I'm just looking to become more explosive because I'm going to be in a weight class with guys who are actually quite a bit heavier than me. I'll probably be at like the bottom of the weight class of super heavy.
Okay, so
Sal has his purple belt.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Got to remind people every once in a while.
Actually, no purple belt, white belt.
No.
Thanks to COVID, it's taken forever.
Oh man, that sucks. Okay, so you want to compete, you're super heavy, and you want to be more explosive, so that you have a better chance of. Okay, so how many days a week do you do jiu-jitsu?
4.
Okay,
for a total of probably 8 or 9 hours.
Oh yeah. So one day a week I would do traditional strength training, and you can include a little bit of plyometrics in that. But in my experience, the lifts that really had the biggest carryover for jiu-jitsu. And are you doing no gi, or are you going to do gi competition, by the way?
This one's gi.
Okay. So no gi is, I'm sure you know this, no gi is way more explosive. Just people are slippery,
Absolutely.
They're faster, whatever. With the gi, things tend to slow down when you hit the ground. A lot of the explosive aspects of jiu-jitsu are what the gi are when you're standing. That's when you see a lot of the, like, how, if you move quickly or whatever. Deadlifts were amazing for that. Deadlifts were really, really good. Zercher squats were really, really good for that. Of course, traditional barbell squats, barbell rows, but you can include a little bit of plyometrics. I just wouldn't overdo it because you're already doing 4 days a week of jiu-jitsu. More than 1 day a week of lifting is probably going to be too much. Now, if you back off on the jiu-jitsu, you can lift more, but I would caution you to trade technique for, strength and power, because as you already know, you've already been doing jiu-jitsu for 2 years. Technique is far more valuable than, strength and power. So
where's the super heavyweight category start? What weight?
221.
Then
it's unlimited from there.
Okay, so and it says here you're 245, right?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay, so
242 as of this morning.
Yeah, okay, so 240s, 18% body fat. One of the things I think that would help would be just leaning out too.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you've got 20 pounds and you'd still stay in the super heavyweight category. I think tightening up your diet would serve you well too.
Because you're just lighter.
I am doing that.
Okay,
as well.
Yeah, to me, I mean, because here, and we get questions like this a lot, like with sports. We just had a sport one before. I mean, nothing is going to get you better at jiu-jitsu than doing more jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. Will a 1 week of strength training complement it? Yeah, it'll complement it, but so also would another day of jiu-jitsu make you great at it. I think as far as the making you more explosive and your agility and stuff like that with jiu-jitsu, leaning down a little bit more is going to help. Since you're already in the super heavyweight class and you're carrying 20 pounds, you could drop down. That would be my suggestion, would be tighten the diet up.
Yeah, one thing I'd add besides, like you mentioned a little bit of plyometrics, but one thing in terms of lowering your risk versus reward kind of ratio in terms of explosive training, you could do some kettlebell swings, some heavy kettlebell swings, get that nice explosive power out of your hips, which is really where, you're going to generate the most force in any of these moves. So that is something to incorporate within your weight training.
Yeah. Now you're not doing, I'm glad you said that, Justin, but don't do them to fatigue, Rob. You're not doing kettlebell swings until you're super tired. You're doing them explosively, and then when you're no longer explosive, you stop.
Higher intentional, less conditioned.
Does that make sense, Rob?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What would you guys say? Because obviously, what you're doing there is they're trying to emulate you thrusting your hips and throwing somebody off of you, right? So,
well, you're just.
I would imagine you're not going to swing more than 5 times, right?
You're doing like 5, 6, 7 reps with a heavy kettlebell, explosive. Put it down, rest for 3 minutes. Do it again. Treat it like an explosive movement.
Throwing it, if you have a field you have access to, that's my favorite. Because it's all just concentric.
Yes. The other thing too, Rob, is do you have any judo experience?
No, I don't.
Okay, so this is now just because I practiced jiu-jitsu and judo. You're doing 4 days a week of jiu-jitsu. If you could every other week or maybe even every week, I would do this after this tournament. Okay, add in a day of judo. Your game will go through the roof. I mean, judo complements jiu-jitsu so much, especially for big guys, because big guys don't like to jump on their back so quickly. So you'll have a lot of guys trying to stand with you. And if you have some judo, I mean, you'll take the fight where you want it, and these big guys will go down like like big trees. So I would do a little, and judo's very explosive. I mean, judo's primarily explosive with the way they set their throws up.
Awesome. That's all great advice.
All right, man. Good luck with your tournament, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, another athletic question. You know, it's what the big mistake that I made with jiu-jitsu was trying to improve all my physical attributes in the gym and not just do more jiu-jitsu, more grappling.
Those same movements with weight.
Yeah, it's like you're better off doing more of that stuff. And I used to, I mean, one of the best things, especially when you're in season, is cross-train with other grappling sports like Greco, Judo, you know, then practice no-gi. No-gi is super fast and explosive because you don't have the gi to slow you down when you're on the ground. And then you'll see, and then what you said, Adam, was, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
get a little lighter.
Right. Sometimes the simple answer is all you really, I mean, he's, what he said, 4 times a week he's doing jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do jiu-jitsu 1 or 2 more days a week in addition to that, and lean out a little bit and watch how badass you get at jiu-jitsu.
I mean, if you lost
like
10 pounds of body fat.
Yeah, right. 10 pounds of body fat, and then using that additional day to do even more jiu-jitsu or do things specifically that are going
it's
to
such a
complement.
high technical sport.
Totally.
So the more proficient you are, obviously, the better you're going to
Right,
perform.
right. So I know we sometimes I think we overcomplicate some of these things, and it's like, dude, the fact that he has room to drop 20 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how much faster you get when you shed 10, 15 pounds.
And 4 days a week of jiu-jitsu is a lot. At my peak, I was doing 4 days a week, and then I was lifting 1 day a week. 5 days a week of jiu-jitsu is intense, and it's hard to add.
Well, you would
do mobility. Like,
well, yeah, or you would do like light rolling, right? Isn't that what they do? Like so if I was like a hardcore jiu-jitsu guy,
yeah, it would be like technique day.
yeah, you would do a day where you guys are like working at 50%, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you would do?
You would. It's just it's exhausting, and it can be pretty brutal on the body. So my point is, if you're doing 5 days a week of jiu-jitsu, you're not lifting. You're doing mobility.
Well,
maybe
yeah.
1 day a week.
Well, and so my point was that if the desired outcome is I want to be badass at jiu-jitsu, and he's doing that 4 days a week, and he's 18% body fat and carrying.
Now you're on point.
To me, it's like practice more jiu-jitsu at a lower intensity if I need to, and cut your weight. That is the single best thing for you getting better at jiu-jitsu. Now, are there exercises we can do in the weight room to complement throwing your hips or throwing explosively? Yes, there is, like Justin recommended, but just simply getting better at jiu-jitsu, leaning out and doing jiu-jitsu more, in my opinion,
You're
right. That'll be the biggest bang for his buck.